So, slideboard lunge. We've started talking this year about the idea of kind of our big four unilateral exercises. Skater squat, one leg straight leg deadlift, and slideboard lunge. We think these are exercises that we can really load probably better and heavier than what we ever were able to do before. This is what's called a mini slideboard that formed better cells. This was actually one of, if you look at inventions, this is probably one of the few things I ever came up with. I told Perform Better, we need these mini slideboards to be able to do things like slideboard lunges and slideboard leg curls and make them really easy to move around so we're not dragging a big slideboard all over the place. So these are great for that. You can also use, if you got them and you've got turf like we do here, you can use your valve slides. The nice thing about this, we can put this on the rubber and still be able to slideboard lunge or slideboard leg curl. With slideboard lunge to me is a really interesting exercise because if you look at what I'm doing here, I am pulling myself up. So again, when we think about knee position, vertical tibia, where we want to be, I can go back and I can literally hinge off of my knee, pull up. So this ends up becoming much more of a hip dominant, much more of a glute and hamstring exercise. And I said in my first book that I called these hybrids. And I said it's kind of like a zebra, because a zebra looks like a horse, but they're not related. This looks like a squat, but I think it's probably more strongly related to one leg straight leg deadlift than it is to squatting. But in either case, this is something we want to be thinking here that we're trying to get initially to at least 50% of our body weight. So if you get somebody like me, weighs, whatever, 185 pounds, I want to be able to handle at least a 90, 95 pound dumbbell, ideally goblet position. We like the idea of exhausting goblet position, meaning we want to go with goblet until we struggle to get the goblet into position, the weight in that position up here. And then I will actually, we've got it so we can show you. We want to be able to exhaust this goblet position here. So the limiting factor should be your inability to get the weight into this position, execute the movement, come back up. When that happens, we're going to split the load in half. So if I get to the point where I can handle a 90, and I realize, okay, 95 or 100, I'm just not going to be able to get that into position, then I'm going to split to 245s or 250 so that I have one in each hand. But I like the idea, as I said, of really exhausting goblet position and then really loading. What I don't want to do here, I don't want to backload. Backload, I describe this in the new book I'm writing as bow and arrow position. When I get to here and I've got a bar behind my back, like in a back squat position, I'm really pulling myself into thoracic extension. This hip down here is really going to be pulled into hip extension. That's probably going to make somebody uncomfortable. I want to be goblet, front load, suitcase, side load. Definitely not back squat, definitely not front squat, because I don't like the positions those are going to put your kind of thoracic spine in.